Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your SmackDown results and 205 Live results. Okay, it's going to be a quick video. Just going to give you the results for the SmackDown. It was a rush week. Not having time to do much. So, it's all SmackDown results and 205 Live. SmackDown opened up with a live from the PPG Paint Arena in Pittsburgh, with Tom Phillips, Corey Graves, and Byron Saxton. Announcer welcomes us to the show, leads us to a video package on SmackDown General Manager Daniel Bryan from last week's show, including his speech on getting cleared to return to the ring, the firing of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and their brutal attack that closed the show. We will find out an update on Bryan's status later, as he will be here. Bobby Roode and Randy Orton start off the show versus Sunil Singh and Jinder Mahal. We go right to the ring. Out first comes Bobby Roode for the opening match. Out next comes the U.S. Champion Randy Orton. Jinder Mahal was out next with Sunil Singh, who was wearing a sling on his arm. Jinder blames the injury on last week's attack and says he has found a replacement. Out comes Rusev with Aiden English. They march to the ring. Rusev and Jinder stand tall in the ring while Singh and English look on from ringside. Fans start chanting for USA. Jinder and Roode go at it, start things off. Jinder takes Roode to the corner and beats him down. Roode fights up and out, but Jinder drops him with a shoulder. Roode with a hip toss and an inverted atomic drop. Roode gets a neck breaker, but he goes for a neck breaker, but he can't nail it. Roode then knocks Rusev off the apron and nails a blockbuster to Jinder for a 2 count. Singh ends up on the apron yelling at Roode. Roode goes for him, but Orton pulls Singh off the apron and sends him down on the floor. Orton and Roode have some words as we go to commercial. Back from the commercial, Orton works Rusev over until Roode tags himself in. Orton comes right back and keeps control until Roode comes right back in. Roode drop kicks Rusev and works him over some more. Orton comes back into one-up Roode and then takes Rusev to the corner, beating him down as the referee warns him. Rusev drops Orton coming out of the corner. Rusev gets a 2 count. Jinder tags back in and stomps on Orton while Rusev holds him. Jinder goes to work on Orton now. Rusev comes back and keeps up the attack on Orton. Rusev with a suplex and a 2 count. Jinder is the legal man now as Orton finally gets an opening with a backdrop. Roode waits for a tag as fans rally for him. Roode gets a tag and unloads on Jinder. Roode with a neck breaker and a shot to knock Rusev off the apron. Roode goes to the top and waits for Jinder to get up. Roode comes crashing down with a big right hand. Roode waits again as the fans pop. Jinder blocks the glorious DDT but gets caught with a spinebuster. Roode with a 2 count and Rusev breaks up the pinfall. Rusev stares at Orton, who doesn't come in for the save. Roode sends Rusev out to the floor, but turns around to a big kick from Jinder for a close 2 count. Orton takes his time coming through the ropes, but he doesn't make the save. We go to commercial. The match continued. Split screen during the break, but we come back to Jinder keeping Roode grounded. Roode fights back, but Jinder drops him with a big knee for a 2 count. Jinder drags Roode over and works him on his arm as Rusev tags in for a double team. Rusev with a big suplex and more offense as the beats Roode around the ring. Jinder tags back in to keep up the attack on Roode near their corner. Jinder with knees to the back before keeping Roode grounded again. Roode fights back and looks for a comeback now as Orton tags himself in as Roode drops Jinder. Roode didn't see the tag. Orton comes in and they have words. Rusev comes in to attack Orton, but Orton catches him. Orton with offense on Rusev, including a power slam. Rusev goes to the apron, but Orton grabs him for the second rope japing DDT and nails it. Orton gets the crowd riled up now as he waits for Rusev to get up. Preparing for it, Jinder runs in, as does Roode. This leads to Roode accidentally hitting Orton. Roode sends Jinder to the floor. Roode turns around to Orton, grabbing him. Roode shoves Orton. Orton drops him with an RKO. Rusev comes over with a Machka kick on Orton for the pinfall. Winner of the match, Rusev and Jinder. After the match, Jinder and Rusev stand tall as Rusev's music plays. we go to replays. Still to come segment, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Shelton Benjamin for the first time in WWE. Also, an update on Daniel Bryan and the New Day versus the Bludgeon Brothers. Back commercial. Back from the break, Jinder approaches Rusev backstage. Jinder wants Rusev to attend his Punjabi celebration after he wins the U.S. title at WrestleMania 34. Jinder offers to get Rusev ringside seats. Rusev says he has a better idea. He just pinned the champion and will go find Daniel Bryan to get the triple threat turned into a fatal four-way. English sings a note on Rusev Mania as they leave. Jinder orders Singh to take off the stupid neck brace. Shinsuke Nakamura walks in on WWE Champion AJ Styles backstage, asking if he's okay. Nakamura says he's worried about AJ. Nakamura wonders if AJ lost his confidence. AJ says he's never had confidence issues. Nakamura says they both want each other at their best for WrestleMania. Nakamura says he wants AJ in his corner for the match tonight. He needs him in the corner. AJ mentions how he won't be out there for Nakamura. He will be there to make sure Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin don't get in the way of the dream match. In the segment. Next up, we get Becky Lynch versus Ruby Riott. We go to the ring. Out comes Becky Lynch as Greg Hamilton does the ring introductions. Becky and Bayley are both confirmed for WrestleMania's Women's Battle Royal. Riott Squad was out next. Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, and Sarah Logan. Match commercial. Back to the ring, they go ahead and start. Ruby decks Becky first and taunts her. Becky comes back and sends Ruby to regroup on the floor. Logan and Liv talk trash, leading to Riott dropping Becky on the apron. Becky falls out to the floor and the referee counts. Ruby brings her back in to the ring and covers for a 2 count. Becky keeps Riott grounded out. More back and forth between the two for a few minutes. Becky unloads with strikes, but Ruby backslides her. Becky with more offense, a clothesline and a drop kick. Fast pop for Becky, but Ruby sends her to the apron. Becky drops Ruby and goes to the top. Logan approaches and Becky kicks at her. Referee catches Logan. Ruby takes advantage and sends Becky face first into the turnbuckles. Ruby covers for the pin, but the referee sees her feet on the ropes. Ruby argues with the referee now. Becky blocks the Riott kick and goes for the disarmer, but Liv gets on the apron yelling. This leads to another roll-up and the counter before Becky rolls Ruby up for the win. After the match, Liv and Logan attack Becky, but she takes them both out and sends them to the floor. Becky stands tall as the music hits. We see Daniel Bryan walking backstage, in the hallways as we go to commercial. Back with the break, out comes SmackDown General Manager Daniel Bryan to a pop. Bryan stops on the stage and isn't participating in the Borgasm Yes chants, selling the attack from last week. He smiles at the fans and chant his name. Bryan says he loves being in Pittsburgh. Last week was one of the best moments of Bryan's career because he finally got the news he was waiting for. He was cleared and now can continue what he's loved to do for 16 years. Bryan says the support he's received from the fans, they start chanting his name again. Bryan says he has a job to do as the general manager. They have said 1,000 times how SmackDown is the land of opportunities. He promises to give Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens one more opportunity. Fans boo, but just one. They chant no. Now, Bryan proposes he and Shane McMahon versus Sami and Owens at WrestleMania 34. As the fans pop now. Bryan talks about how Shane is currently hospitalized, but he believes Shane will be good to go for New Orleans. Bryan says if he and Shane win, Owens and Sami remain fired. If he and Shane lose, Sami and Owens will be reinstated to SmackDown. Bryan gives them chances because he thinks they are two of the greatest of this generation. Because he's known them for 15 plus years. Because they've struggled together and been there for him in the past. Because they've fought together. Because it's his job as GM to give talents opportunities. Bryan goes on about his GM duties like board meetings, filling out paperwork, wearing cardigans, and blazers. Bryan says he's sick of meetings, sick of paperwork, and sick of wearing blazers. He takes a sweater off. Bryan goes on about fighting for 3 years to get back into the ring, but they tried to take it away from him last week. Bryan doesn't care how many times they kick him in the face or powerbomb him. He is back and he will fight at WrestleMania. Bryan goes on and gets fired up as the fans cheer for him. We get a backstage promo from Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable, who say they are the best athletes on SmackDown, but still don't have a WrestleMania match. Benjamin says he's going to make it happen for them when he turns up against Shinsuke Nakamura tonight. Still to come segment, The New Day versus the Bludgeon Brothers. Back from the break, Tom confirms that Rusev has been added to the U.S. title match at WrestleMania to become a fatal four-way. We go to the ring. Out comes The New Day, Big E, Xavier Woods, and Kofi Kingston. They start talking about the road to WrestleMania 34 and take shots at the Bludgeon Brothers, calling them trash. Woods says Harper and Rowan have a problem. They left The New Day with the ability to walk. Woods goes on about how they will take the Bludgeon Brothers out and look to take back the SmackDown Tag Team titles. They get the New Day Rocks chant going as the music interrupts, and out comes the Bludgeon Brothers. Rowan and Harper head to the ring as we go back to commercial. Back for the break, Rowan is going to work on Woods. Harper tags in for some double teaming as Big E watches from the apron. Harper dominates as Kofi talks trash from ringside. Woods fights back and brings Harper to one knee with a forearm. Rowan ends up taking Big E off the apron and sending Kofi into him. Rowan sends them into the barrier. Woods has no one to tag as Harper keeps control of him. Rowan brings Big E into the ring and then brings Mallets into the ring, but out comes SmackDown Tag Team Champions Usos to stop him. Rowan gets sent into the ring post as the referee calls for the bell for the disqualification. Winner of the match, Bludgeon Brothers. After the bell, New Day triple teams Harper and kicks him out of the ring. Usos hit the ring and argue with the New Day. Rowan and Harper come in swinging the mallets, but the other two teams retreat to the floor. Bludgeon Brothers look on from the ring as the other teams back up the ramp. We get a look back at Daniel Bryan announcing his ring return for WrestleMania earlier in the evening. We see a tweet from Sami Zayn that accepted the match. Tom revealed that Shane McMahon has been discharged from the hospital. Announcers plug WrestleMania on the WWE Network and go over the matches. Still to come segment, Nakamura versus Benjamin. Back to commercial. Announcers lead up to a video package for Asuka versus SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte at WrestleMania 34. And we get Dolph Ziggler versus Tyler Breeze up next. We go to the ring as we see Breezango around the trophy for the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Dolph Ziggler is out next to face Tyler Breeze. Fandango gets on the apron and dances as the bell rings. He hops off, but comes right back and dances some more. Breeze and Ziggler finally get going. Ziggler gets catapulted into the corner. At one point, Ziggler ends up chasing them both around the ring. Fandango keeps running laps around the ring as Breeze and Ziggler go at it. Ziggler eats a super kick for a 2 count. Then Ziggler ends up avoiding a splash and hitting a zigzag for the win. After the match, Ziggler goes to ringside and drops Fandango with a super kick. Ziggler then checks out the Andre trophy before making his exit. Still to come segment, Benjamin versus Nakamura about the commercial. Back for the break, Tom confirms the New Day versus Bludgeon Brothers versus Usos for the titles at WrestleMania. Triple threat. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Shelton Benjamin. We go to the ring. Out comes Shinsuke for tonight's main event. We see AJ out next to be in the corner of his WrestleMania opponent. Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin are out next. Back and forth to start. Fan champion styles at times as Nakamura takes control. Nakamura gets the upper hand and sends Benjamin out to the floor. Gable checks on Benjamin as we go back to commercial. Back from the break, we get a mixed match challenge promo from Bobby Roode, Sasha Banks, and Finn Balor. Now that Charlotte Flair has been pulled due to sickness. Voting is open to determine Flair's replacement. We go back to the ring and Shelton has Nakamura grounded on the mat after sending him into the apron during the break. Nakamura fights up and out. Nakamura slides out of a hole, but they both go down at the same time. Nakamura comes back, drops Benjamin with a kick to the back of the neck. Nakamura with a charging shot in the corner, and then the high knees. Gable gets on the apron for a distraction, but Styles pulls him down, and he hits the apron. Benjamin blocks the Kasasha and hits the Northern Light suplex for a 2 count. AJ looks on as Benjamin waits for Nakamura to get up. Nakamura blocks the pay dirt and goes for the armbar, but Benjamin struggles and turns that into a triangle. Nakamura avoids the pin, but Benjamin overpowers him into a half crab submission. Nakamura ends up getting the armbar, but Shelton is still resisting with the triangle. They break and Nakamura waits for Benjamin to get up. Nakamura comes off the top rope with a knee to drop Benjamin. Nakamura nails the Kasasha for the pinfall. After the match, Nakamura stands tall as the music hits. We go to replays. AJ enters the ring. Nakamura thanks AJ for being in his corner, but he says he never needed his help. He only wanted AJ to see how he will beat him at WrestleMania. AJ says Nakamura must be playing mind games. AJ says he won't be playing any games at WrestleMania. AJ says this isn't just a dream match for fans. It's one for him too. It's a dream match for the fans because they know these two will tear the house down. AJ says his dream match goes a little different because outside of him, Nakamura is considered the best. AJ says he will be considered better than the best after he walks out still champion, which will prove that he's the phenomenal and this is the house that he built. Nakamura taunts AJ and says he will beat AJ at WrestleMania because AJ is too emotional. Nakamura's music hits and he leaves the ring as AJ watches. Gable and Benjamin come from behind and beat AJ down. Nakamura returns to the ring and makes a save, taking both out. Nakamura waits for AJ to get up for the Kasasha. Nakamura charges for the move, but puts the brakes on. Nakamura stares AJ down while he's on the mat and taunts him with the knees to the face line. Nakamura's music hits, and again he leaves the ring. He patted AJ's head. The SmackDown goes off the air with AJ recovering. Voice of 205 Live. Voiceover guy introduced the competitors in the Fatal 4-Way, and each get a little promo to explain how they're going to win and impress Drake Maverick for a future title shot. After the intro video, Nigel McGuinness and Vic Joseph welcome us to Pittsburgh. They hype the Fatal 4-Way as well. They promise words from Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali ahead of their WrestleMania Championship match. Drake Maverick on commentary for our opening match. Mark Andrews defeated Tony Nese by pinfall following with unitary press. With commentary reminding both men lost to Drew Gulak and attorney. Nese overpowers Andrews and the outset. The Brit sends him to the floor with a Rana. But Tony cuts off a follow-up dive and covers for a 2 count. Things stay on the ground as Nese puts the boots to him and uses the ropes to choke him. A back elbow and an enziguri get Mark in control. He gets a near fall of his own off of a tornado DDT when Nese tries to escape. Andrews moonsault from the top to the floor. Back in the ring, follow-up aerial maneuver is cut off. And a gutbuster and a clothesline both result in 2 counts from Nese. Action proceeds in and out of the ring as they brawl, but Andrews eventually counters a powerbomb into a double stomp, then hits a stun dog millionaire to set up the finish. And that can be found at this link. The action. Drew Gulak watched from a monitor backstage after winning. Maverick agreed to give Andrews a match against Gulak next week. Dr. Fitness caught up with Drew backstage. He's sorry for hurting Mark's feelings in the tournament when he held on to his submission a tad too long. But he's the best submission specialist in WWE. If you step to him, you will tap out. PowerPoint is gone for good, folks. And that can be seen in this link. Drake Maverick interviewed Ali and Alexander. They're both blown away that they've reached WrestleMania and will get to face a friend. Cedric says he's planning on making his daughter proud when he wins the belt. Mustafa calls him on that because that's not how his story usually ends. Alexander's pen usually runs out of ink. Ali says he's writing his own story. He plans to raise the belt over his head at WrestleMania. Asks for Alexander what Alexander is willing to do to change his story. As Cedric promised to stomp out the heart of 205 Live And Ali says, that's what we'll have to do. They clasp hands to end the segment, and that can be found in this link. Buddy Murphy defeated Kalisto, Akira Tozawa, and TJP by pinfall after Murphy's Law to TJP. And that can be found in this link. And that concludes the show. Anyways, this was a 15 super fun minutes of wrestling, notable for TJP's crazy multi-person submissions, Murphy out-luchaing Kalisto at times, and a great structure which allowed for storylines to be advanced, largely Lucha House parties, rivalry with Tozawa and Atami, which showed Akira and Kalisto working together in a way you'd expect from their being the color heads of their own teams. Until they couldn't anymore, those two bickering helped clear the ring for Buddy to finish things off. First with a corkscrew dive onto all three, then after a surviving roll-up attempt with his sweet finisher, a pump handle swinging DVD. And that concludes my results for 205 Live and SmackDown. Thanks again. See you on the video. If you don't know, just call me, brothers and sisters.